Hi there. Okay, let's see. The microphone's working good. All right. So, um, what's going on? I'll just talk for a little bit. So yesterday my throat was getting a little bit sore, but I think it's gotten a little bit better. I think maybe I just needed to have a sleep in today. I did have a sleep in today, which is good because I missed out on a sleep in yesterday, even though it's Saturday. And the reason for that was because the fire alarm went off, so we all had to evacuate the building at 5 o'clock in the morning. So that probably messed me up a little bit. But yeah, I don't know. So maybe it wasn't like a cold that was happening. Maybe it wasn't a bug that was happening. But I had a sleep in this morning, which was nice. And it was it was a much bigger sleep in than I was expecting because over summer, uh, I usually wake up early because my room faces the sun, the morning sun, and so my room like heats up instantly in the morning, and so I have to like get out of there as soon as possible because it gets uncomfortable very easily. But yeah, today's just been a nice, cooler day. Not super cool, but just a lot significantly cooler than normal, which is good. So I'm relieved because of that. Yeah, just it feels like it's been a long time since I had a sleep in for sure. But yeah, so basically I think what I needed was just a little extra sleep, and I think that's just helped my throat feel not sore today, which is good. So I'm glad I'm not. I hope I'm not getting sick. We are coming up to 6 season, so I need to, because all the kids are back at school. I live near a school, a hospital, a pub, public transport. There's a lot of there's a lot of hazards nearby, unfortunately, when it comes to picking up bugs. So I just need to take extra care of myself. So I'm gonna start. It's a little too hot for me to be drinking tea, but um, I've got the air conditioner on now just because it's not. Yeah, it's a tad stuffy still out there. So I've just got the air conditioner on so that I can balance out drinking the tea because it does help with keeping me from getting sick, which is nice. Uh, what else is going on? And I need to also start eating Vegemite toast as well. I think I don't know if parents are conscious of this, but I think Australian parents like the idea of getting your kids to eat Vegemite is to keep them from getting sick. It's also got like high thiamine in it, which is healthy from what I understand. It's very nutritious. It might not taste good, but it is nutritious. You just got to put a lot of butter on your toast and it'll be fine. Just sweeten it up a little bit. It's basically medicine. It's basically Vegemite is a type of medicine in a way, if you think about it. Let's see. I'm just checking out my mobile phone. Yeah, so I'm all caught up on Solar Opposites up to season 5, and now I've just got the final season to go, which I'm hoping I can watch tonight, depending on if I'm caught up on my chores tonight. I just did a load of washing before, that's why I took a little extra time to get here. Let's see, what else is going on? Oh, actually, I just remembered. I need to talk about a movie that I watched. I think I finished it this week, or it was last week that I finished. I watched a movie called The Lovely Bones. And I remember reading a little bit of the book when I was in high school, but I only read up to a certain point because it's technically it's a contemporary fantasy story set in the 70s or something, and back then I was like, I don't read anything to do with fantasy. Like, I don't read, because I thought that I hated the fantasy genre back then, so I just didn't, I just didn't read fantasy because why was it? I think there were two reasons. One, I tried reading Harry Potter and thought that it sucked, but my interpretation wasn't that Harry Potter sucked. My interpretation was that, if this is bad, then that means all fantasy books are bad, which is weird because I was also reading the witch books at one point. I forgot who wrote those. I was reading the witch books, but that was the thing about the witch books is that I was always kind of being told off. I was always being criticized for reading those books, and so I think that sort of possibly also contributed to my hating fantasy, because I was being criticized for reading those books, which were a sort of contemporary fantasy series, which it's a shame that happened in that way. So anyways, I read a little bit of The Lovely Bones, just the beginning part, just the scary part, because back when I was a teenager, I would just read. For some reason, when I was a teenager, I thought that if I had to read a book, it had to either be it either had to be about war, or it had to be like the most intense, awful thing. It had to be about the worst thing that ever happened to you. Like, I remember reading Chinese Cinderella, which is an autobiography, and some really horrible things happened in that book to the character Adeline Yenma, who was a real person, she wasn't just a character, she was a real person. And I remember reading another autobiography about just horrendous child abuse, and that was who was that? He became an aircraft pilot for the Air Force in America. I think it was called A Child Called It. I think that's what the book was called. So I read that. It was horrendous. It was so back then, like that, that's just what, these days I can't really get into stories like that anymore. I have to read. I'm much more into fantasy. I'm much more open to fantasy these days. I'm reading this. I'm reading Homestuck. I'm reading. I need to get more into sci-fi, though. That's what I need to get more into. I need to get more into sci-fi. For some reason, I always thought that I had to. I really wish I'd been more encouraged to read, like, fantasy and sci-fi from a younger age. Not because I was always being told, you have to read this really fucking boring book about being a teenager whose mum disappeared. Like, that was always what I was being pushed to read, and it's like, and so. I was always being told like fantasy and sci-fi were dumb, and I think that's why books about war really appealed to me, because that was like the closest to like something good. Actually, another reason I think I hated fantasy was because when I was 12, I was made to read the book, The Chronicles, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, which is a good book, but I feel like at 12 years old, I was way too old to be reading a book like that. It just wasn't challenging. It just felt kind of meh. So, I feel like that's a book I should have been reading I should have been made to read that when I was maybe 7 or 8. Like, you should be like a little, you shouldn't be like on your way to you shouldn't be like 2 seconds away from being a teenager when you're reading The Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe. You should be younger to read that book. I think what I should have been reading was, actually, even The Hobbit. I should have been reading The Hobbit back when I was 8 or something. That to me is, not that there's anything wrong with reading The Hobbit as an adult. I'm reading The Hobbit at the moment, but I just feel like there's just, anyways, I have issues with how I was introduced to fantasy, because I was very much feel like I stayed away from it for too long. And let's see, what was it? Oh yeah, The Lovely Bones. I was talking about the movie The Lovely Bones. So, anyways, the movie of The Lovely Bones came out at some point, and everyone said it was bad. I just heard that it was a really bad movie, and interestingly, directed by the same guy that did Peter Jackson, who did the Lord of the Rings films. And all I heard was that it was bad. Roger Ebert said it was really bad, and I watched it now, only just now, and it's actually really good. And I was just watching it thinking, I can't believe people said this was a really bad movie. I can't get over how good it was compared to what I'd heard about it. Now, I will say, the biggest problem with the Lovely Bones movie is the supporting acting. The supporting actors are some of the worst performances I've seen in supporting acting in ages. It was really bad. Like the supporting, I can understand not liking the movie because of the supporting acting. It was really bad. Like the main actors are great. I think her name is Suarez Ronan or something. I don't remember. She's got a very Irish name, and she was in Lady Bird and Little Women. I've seen Lady Bird, I haven't seen Little Women. She's in a bunch of other movies that I need to watch, and she's in a bunch of other movies that I've seen that I can't remember the names of. But yeah, she's a very accomplished child actress. This is one of her best performances from when she was very young. Just fantastic work. And who was the other guy? His name's Mark something. It's not Mark Ruffalo. It's who's that guy's name? He's in the Ted movies. Hang on, Ted. Movie. Seth MacFarlane. Who's that guy? Starring Mark Wahlberg. Mark Wahlberg is the dad in the movie, and his role is absolutely heartbreaking. So anyways, the point is, I highly recommend The Lovely Bones, but also The Lovely Bones was, people were saying the directing of The Lovely Bones was really bad, and I'm like, no, it's really good. That's one of the best parts about it was the directing. It's just the supporting acting that I have the biggest issue with. The supporting acting was very, very lacking. It was very distant. It was kind of derpy at times. It was very disappointing in that regard. And it's also, as I said, I haven't. It's very accurate to the book, more or less. I've only. By the way, I don't recommend the book because I have some criticisms about the author, Alice Sebold, because it's a very delicate and complicated matter, but it's basically something horrendous happened to her, and it appears a lot in her work. She did a book called Lucky based on what happened to her, but she ultimately accused the wrong guy of what happened based on the fact that he waved at. Well, he didn't wave at her. She thought he waved at her. He was actually waving to somebody else behind her that was standing behind her, and he spent decades in prison for a crime he didn't commit. And that's just, she is ultimately she's at least the whole system is responsible for what happened to him, but she did play a not insignificant role in that and profited from it. Her whole career was basically based on what was essentially a lie, and and I'm sure that what happened to her really did happen, but she overreacted towards somebody who who she thought was waving at her. Yeah, it's just an extremely unfortunate situation. So I don't. So because of what happened, I'm not really in the mood to support her work. But anyways, the book, so I know the whole thing that happened. I know what everything that happens in the book because I read part of it when I was a teenager, and then I read like the Wikipedia synopsis to see how the rest went. And yeah, the movie's accurate to what happens in the book, except that it doesn't show certain things explicitly, which I think was the right move to do. It's very tasteful with how it portrays certain things, while also making it pretty obvious what exactly happened. Like it's almost just it's almost just family friendly enough to show to not little kids, but maybe like kids who are around the same age as the main character when she when the bad thing happens to her. So I thought it was very impressively. So I thought it was impressive for how accurate it was in that regard, but apparently the screenwriters had a very different idea on how they wanted it to be adapted. Like people wanted the whole ghost story element to be like a dream in Mark Wahlberg's imagination. That was the intent of the screenwriter, and apparently, and some people think, oh, that would have made the movie better, and I'm like, no, that would have made it worse. That would have made it way worse, like, because that would mean that the main character wasn't real, and it's got to be it can't be from the dad's perspective. It's got to be from the girl's perspective. So I don't know. Yeah, so I just think everyone is off their fucking gourd when it comes to that movie because it was really good. So yeah, I highly recommend the movie The Lovely Bones. Maybe I do have some sympathy for the author of the book, but I don't recommend supporting her career anymore just because of, you know, I have more sympathy for the man and his family that she ruined with the tragedy that happened to her. You know, that's just how it is. I have to check out. I heard they were making a documentary about the guy called Unlucky. I don't know if it's been made yet. Because I was waiting for to hear more information about it, but I hope I can see that at some point. The Unlucky documentary. There has to be a documentary about that man at some point. I heard HBO is either making that documentary, or they're making a mini-series documentary about that incident. So, but yeah, I really think that that's a perspective that needs to be put out there, is what happened to that guy, because it's not right. Anyways, that was really heavy. Yeah, so I went ahead to take this screenshot of Homestuck. I should probably figure, before I go on, let me just think of something more lighter to bring up. Let me just check the chat as well, see if anyone's here. Oh yeah, so before the stream wasn't working. It for some reason the internet stopped working all of a sudden. So for a hot minute I thought that today's stream wasn't going to happen because the internet stopped working, and I don't know why that happened. Just randomly just stopped working for some reason. Got no idea why. Yeah. But yeah, and I'm really struggling to read Warbreaker at the moment because I'm on the 9th chapter, and I'm also like there's a lot of characters, and right now the ninth chapter is on a character who I don't find particularly interesting, but I just gotta bowl it over, and then and I know it will be rewarding. That's the thing about reading, is that it is rewarding. It's a pain in the ass, but it is rewarding in the end. It is enriching, and Homestuck really also is challenging in that regard. Like, it just keeps going on and on and on and on and on and on, and nothing happens. But but then something happens, and this HIVEBENT storyline has been going on for a long time now. Like, it's the longest so far. I think we're still on Act 3. I think this is still technically Act 3. And it's just so fucking long. I don't know where it's all going, but we're climbing up the tower with this character, Terezi, and that might be a Lucis over there. Yeah, that's definitely a Lucis. Oh no, it's a dragon sprite. Sniff, sniff. Hey, Terezi. Hey. Hi, Terezi. Hi. Sniff, sniff. This is how I talk to my friend through text. Sniff, sniff, sniff. Terezi, respond. Oh, man. Okay, I got your message. Thanks for not hassling me about it in one of the memos to get my attention. I appreciate that. Oh wait, this is Car Cat that's talking. Okay, and he's talking to Galos Calibrator. Let me look up Galos Calibrator. Galos Calibrator. Who is that? It's not. Oh wait, no. Yeah, hang on. Let's see. Terminally capricious. Oh, okay. So that's Okay, so what's his name? Carcat is trolling Terezi. Okay. Okay, I got your message. Yep. Unless you did, but it was in the future memo I haven't written yet, in which case, have a big time fuck you about that in advance. No, I didn't bug you about it in your stupid memos. They are annoying, and I'm tired of getting banned for no reason. Posting in them at all is the reason. You're not supposed to reply to memos, period. That's the reason. Maybe I will start my own bulletin board, and everyone will be allowed to reply anytime they want, except for guys with nubby horns. Oh no, they will not be able to reply at all. Grumpy car cats will be expressly forbidden from Rainbow Rumpus Party Town. Sounds lame. By the way, that will be the name of the board in case it wasn't clear. Yeah, I got that. This is an empty threat, because if you made a board at any point on the timeline, I would be able to see it right here and read the whole thing already. Wait, oh god, you actually did. Yes. Future Terezi is looking pretty cool right about now. Look, I don't care about the Fruity Rumpus asshole factory. That's all this. What's all this about going after the Queen's ring? Well, the thing that is all about it is we have to go after the Queen's ring. It is a new mission. Okay. But we're still in the middle of trying to pull off Regisurp with Jack. Why don't we take it one mission at a time? Yeah, about that. The whole point is to destroy the ring so Jack doesn't get it. Why would we want to do that? Jack's an ally. Also, the mission sort of involves exiling Jack too. This is bullshit. We're not exiling Jack. He's cool. Okay, so if I recall correctly, Jack reached out to Carcat and showed that he has red blood, and that's when it was revealed that Carcat also has red blood and that he's a mutant. And it was really, really like, it was a moment. Carcat, he is not that cool, but he's, yeah. Yes, he is. He's a total badass with a fuck ton of blades and shit, and he's helping us out. Okay, I think it's pretty cute that you sort of look up to him like that, but seriously, I do not get a good feeling from him. He kind of stinks. Let me act shocked like I didn't see that coming. Fuck, I forgot my horns. I always forget them. No, well, sort of. He doesn't smell bad, actually. He smells really clean and shiny and dark, like an oil slick, and there is a tiny hint of licorice there too. It's more like the way he moves. I smell his smooth motions and the way he squints his eyes, and it gives me this really nervous feeling. What a surprise! You are dragging your schizophrenic nose into this. What an outstanding character witness. Objection, your tyranny. Ha ha. The bottom line is, I am not going to exile Jack because you believe you can smell malice off an interpretive dance. Carcat, he's a jerk. He has stabbed you on more than one occasion. That's a pretty solid argument. Some of those stabbings were accidental. Okay, well, I know for a fact the third time was accidental. Anyway, you've beaten the shit out of me a few times yourself. But I didn't draw blood. I mean, I could have to satisfy my curiosity, but I didn't as a courtesy to you, since you still want to keep it a secret from me like a petulant little wiggler. Hey, I promised I'd tell you. I just wasn't ready, okay? Well, it's okay. I know what color your blood is anyway. No, you don't. Yep, I totally do. Lies. I've been very careful. Not like all you classless shitbags who slop your blood all over the place every goddamn minute, like it's some weird fetish. What? Blah, hold on. What is it? I said hold on. Sometimes it's hard to pick out the letters from the holo projection. I need to get a closer look. Are you licking your glasses again? I hate it when you do that. It's fucking disgusting. Nump. What would give you that idea? Terezi, get closer look. Oh my god, that's hilarious. That is better. It's much easier to read your color this way. Your drab, dirty pavement gray on top of bright candy red like a shiny lollipop. Does that sound familiar, Carcat? Yes, I'm extremely familiar with this sort of nonsense by now, sure. No, I mean gray on red like the way your skin conceals your blood. What? Candy red like your planet. You have strong cherry tough syrup in your veins. It is completely delicious. Who told you? Did Jack tell you? No, he doesn't talk much. I figured it out myself. How? I got a closer look. Remember? No. You are playing so dumb. You know exactly what I am talking about. I cleaned up my wound and changed my shirt before I even met you. I've been extremely careful. So you're going to have to fill me in. It was when I got close enough to smell it under your skin. Please, Carcat, do not pretend that you forgot about our little moment. Ooh, little moment. Whoa, you mean during fuck? During fuck? Okay, shh. Let's not talk about this, not here. This isn't a memo, it's a private... Okay, let's not talk about this here. Not here. This isn't a memo. It's a private correspondence just between us, remember? I know, but damn it. Writing all these memos has made me paranoid. Yeah? That's why you don't go on the internet if that's, yeah. The internet is not for the paranoid. If you're paranoid, that's when you need a break from the internet at the very least. It just doesn't feel secure chatting about it over the client. I don't know. We can talk about it in person. How in person do you mean? Uh-oh, look at my eyebrows getting carried away here. The wink, wink, wink. Carcat, help, they are out of control. Those are eyebrows? I thought they were horns. Oh, yeah, okay. They are horns too. They can't be both. They are whatever I want them to be. They are, yeah. It's like, don't change the subject by being cute. Well, apparently I just can't fucking help myself, can I? Nope. How can you even smell so damn well anyway? You give me a hard time about being coy about shit, but when it comes to your crazy sense, you're so vague. It's like trying to decipher the daily horoscope riddle. Or the riddles for all 48 signs combined. 48 signs, okay. You are a relentless subject changer. Fine, it's okay if you don't want to talk about it. God, you're so shy for an angry guy who wants to be a big shot leader. It's ridiculous. Look, we'll talk, I promise. Why don't you just say some stuff about yourself for a change? And cut me some slack. Okay. Okay, we're flat. Wow, this is a really good. Look at that. Got a little bit of a storm happening or something. I'm sure I mentioned after you met my sprite, I learned from her through my dreams before she hatched. Yeah, but it's still so vague. That's the whole point. How about a straight answer? Okay, I'll try. When I went blind, that's when I first woke up and my lucis helped me wake up. Sort of. You mean on Prospit's moon? Yes. But except for a very brief moment, I was blind in my dreams too. The dream self image I project can't see because I guess deep down I don't really want to. Why is that? Is it out of spite to Vriska? I know I'd probably be cool with it out of spite more than anything. No, not that there wasn't some satisfaction in being okay with it, grateful about it even, and making sure she knew that, but that's not it. The way it happened was the first time I ever heard from my lucis. The way it happened was the first time I ever heard from my lucis. She woke me up and ever since has been teaching me a different way to see. A different way to perceive everything, I guess, not just in a sensory way. Okay, so why did you never tell me any of this? You wouldn't have gotten it. Even now, you still don't really. You have not even seen Skya yet. How am I supposed to wake up? I don't know, something different does it for everybody. How many of us are awake now? How much of the future did you see before we started in the clouds, like Kanaya? Also, how did you get blind anyway? How did she do to you? No, sorry, what did she do to you? I don't know why you're so cagey about that. I still don't see how she could blind you without being anywhere near you. Obviously, she can't control you, so what gives? Carcat, shut up. God, how about if I tell you all about that stuff next time we are in person? In fact, I will tell you when you wake up. Until then, I will keep tabs on you in your tower while you sleep like a little horny pajama pupa nestled in his cocoon. Wait, let me guess. Do I look adorable? Actually, you look kind of like a big pile of smelly barf. Wow, what the fuck? Of course you do, dumbass. Oh, then good, I guess. Okay, I've got to fly. Don't worry about the ring mission. You can stay busy with Regicerp. I will organize the new mission myself later. Wait, Terezi, please don't tell them about my blood. I want to tell them, I will tell them later, once they respect me as a leader. Okay, I will keep that secret if you keep this one I tell you, which is that between you and me, Carcat, I think they already do. Bye. Bye. Wait, why are there two things here? Enter password. What's the password? If you don't know the password yet, it means you're not supposed to, dummy. Go back. Alright, fine, I'll go back. How do I go back? This way? That was crazy. Trezzy, ascend. Oh, sweet bro and hella Jeff. It's been a while. Kid, where'd you go? I was going to show you my stabs. Aha. Sear are those wings. Time to fly up away to Skya, you fucking pieces of garbage. Okay. Bye, Terezi. Bye. Terezi, bye. Heh. Pause. Make her pay. Oh my god. Fucking finally. My god. this is recapping some stuff as well. Whoa! That's so well made. Wow, that's still going. No, it's over now. That was really cool. Let's see, credits, the art. Let's see, who did that? Art credits. Okay, so this is just all of the people. Okay, that's good to know. Let's see. This is, okay, Act 7. We're on Act 3 right now, I think. I don't know. But yeah, yeah, it's good to know that I'll have to check this out later. And then there's sound credits as well. Make them pay. Where's make them pay? Oh my god, there's this, holy moly. I kind of want to play that again, but with, I need to capture that so that I can use it for, the, for next week for the intermissions, because it's about damn time I get a new intermission. So like right there. Okay. No, that wasn't. Sorry, I did that wrong. I was supposed to make that. Yeah, like that. Also, I kind of want to see it again. It almost looks like a random. Which I haven't also, but I've seen a couple of the tweets on that. Okay, so that's about 3 minutes. Okay, cool. Let's just put. Hi, do not open. Hey, sorry I didn't see you there. Do you remember correctly? Yeah, just choose the normal one. It's the troll flesh. Yes, yes. Because Riska can't control Terezi directly. She controlled Tavros, who controlled Terezi's Lucis, who controlled Terezi and made her look at the sun. Simple, right? Yeah, that's okay. Okay. Was that all in the flash as well? One of the things that strikes me about this flash is how Aradia only stops attacking Briska when Tavros shows up. She doesn't want to make him witness that. Interesting. Now, I'm just gonna... Let me just... hang on. No, wrong one. Sorry, God, I just want to change it now. I just want to change it now real quick so that I can get a new one. Let's see, we'll turn that off. We'll get a new one. Let's see, I need a new media source, that's right. Okay. And we want to loop it as well. Let's see, where am I gotta go to photos, I think. Photos, images. Yeah, it's gotta go, yes, and it's like, where is it? Twitch stuff, it's not Twitch stuff, it's screenshots. How is it not in the script? How is screenshots? I'll figure this out another time. Okay. Never mind, don't worry about it. I'll have it all set up by next week anyway. I'll figure it all out. But yeah, that was really cool. I'm really happy with that finally happened. So, wait, does that mean I've finished an act? Is that right? Oh, damn. Is she dead? Is Vriska dead? Make her pay. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna get demonetized here. Oh my lord. The brag ladies. The brag ladies. It's like smoking. Yeah, how's he doing? So he's having a smile. Add a girl. Okay. Move this along. What's gonna happen? Someone needs to grab the reins on timeline management here. These delinquents waste too much time. Can't seem to conduct their business with any efficiency at all. Payback scenarios notwithstanding. There's always time to be made for a good comeuppance. Skip to the end. Skip to the end. What's happening? What's happening? Quit bossing me around. I'm not okay with it. Okay, that's what I like to hear. As you were then. Skip to the end. What's gonna happen? I really thought an act was about to end. Do not open. Hope you're still here. Are we coming towards the end of an act? Is that what's happening? Let me just get the chat up real quick. Let's see. Not yet. Hang on. Not yet. You are almost to the end of Act 5, Act 1. Act 5, Act 1. Act 5, Act 2 is the most iconic of of Homestuck. So Act 5, that's right. So I'm in Act 5 right now. Okay. So Act 5 is... Wait, is that in the title? Okay, so I'm in Act 5 right now, but there's like sub-acts, right? So I've almost finished sub-act 1 of Act 5. Okay, well, if we're nearly towards the end of it, maybe I'll just finish Act 5, Act 1 today, and then we'll end it there for today. Okay. Private translate, let's see. Okay, future, apocalypse risen, 2 hours from now, opened private trans timeline bulletin board. Okay, whatever. This private board will and has already served as a log of past events for future selves to record and a guide of future events for past selves to follow. I don't know which half of its role has been or will be more important. Possibly neither is critical, since deviation from the course is mostly impossible and reflection on its traversal is completely irrelevant. But I'm typing this anyway because I'm bored again. Okay, 600 hours ago responds to memo. So past, so this is future self and past self, okay. And here I was thinking we were finished taking orders from voices. We've only swapped the imperatives of the dead with those of our future selves, who are also dead. Yes, it seems that way. Oh well, it was an enjoyable reprieve from fatalism while it lasted. I nearly managed to savor it, an error narrowly avoided. I think we should refrain from dialogue in this memo, without resorting to bannings or absurd exchanges of self-repudiation. Yeah, I agree. I just thought I'd interject that and go. Okay. So this isn't an animation or anything. Yep, a good thing to do would be to finish Act 5, Act 1, watch the opening flash of Act 5, Act 2, and then read very first pestalog of it. Wouldn't it make more sense to just finish Act 5, Act 1? Or are you just very keen for me to watch those particular things? Because I'd like to just like start Act 5, because you said it was pretty iconic, the Act 2 of Act 5. So it'd be great if I could just start it all like that next week, and then it's just like, yes, we're off to a strong start with the next stage of the story. We will and have already amassed an army to confront the Black King, an army consisting of our alternate future selves, each one rerouted from a doomed offshoot of the Alpha timeline, each given another chance at a constructive influence over the ultimate outcome. By the way, if you didn't know already, a future self returning to the past from a doomed timeline will always be slated for imminent destruction herself. It's one of the rules, and the unfortunate reality is this will and has already been a mass suicide mission, or it would be, and already would have been if we all weren't already dead. This sounds so evil, I love it. Alright, we can end on Act 5, Act 1. Alright, I'm glad to hear that approval. Okay. Mobilizing ourselves in such numbers would be required to neutralize the king's psychic attacks. It would take our combined concentration to dampen the abilities he inherited from Without the cumulative effort of our doomed reserves, without the heightened mental and physical endurance of our robotic vessels, without the untimely demise we all shared before this began, victory would not be possible. He would kill us all with one dreadful sound. One dreadful sound. Wow. I don't know if it was just bad luck or an extension of the curse Karkat insists he brought on us. That led to the incidental and unfortuitous prototyping of Fafari's powerful Lucis, without which the battle would have posed little challenge, I think. It was more than likely just another inevitability, a product of collusion between the disparate forces at play. A bargain struck between what Skya knows already and what the gods demand up front. Together they orchestrate trials sufficient to ensure that in overcoming them we would be proven worthy of inheriting the ultimate reward. Ribbit. Whoops. I forgot that she does the ribbits. And so it would be, and has already, that while distracted by the combined efforts of our doomed legion, the king would be aggressed by the others, and even though which would be well prepared, perched on the highest rungs of their echeladas, equipped with the best weaponry Grist could build, versed in the deadliest framotiffs boon dollars could buy. What's a framotiff? Whoa. Soulbot video log. Even though the meteors from the king's own reckoning would be turned against him. Wow. And even with the possibly lucky roll of the dice at the final moment, we would only narrowly succeed. But ultimately, we would prove our worth. What's happening? And the reward would be within our reach, but only momentarily. Oh man, the rug pulls. Before we would be able to claim it, we would be interrupted by something which would be ushered into our session by a rift in paradox space. A rift which we would determine will be opened by 4 members of a fledgling species, who will be playing in another session of the same game that we will and have already played. Will and already have. Their rift will lead to the great undoing, without necessarily causing it, not directly, which rifts are themselves supposedly benign, useful even. They are catalogued phenomena within the game itself, with a provided means of creating them, and a wide range of scenarios for which it might be prudent to do so. The Inciposphere locals have a more formal term for them. They typically refer to such a rift as... Oh, whoa, it's getting darker. Whoa, a scratch. Wait, who's, this is current Apocalypse Aradia or something. Let me just look up who AA is one more time. Hang on. This isn't... Okay, so it's still... Okay, so it's still Aradia, okay. The girl with the white eyes. But it's current her. The direct effects of a scratch are limited to the session invoking it. We would not experience or observe those effects from our session, but we would experience the consequences in the form of that which prevented us from claiming our reward. He whose hand would be forced by the scratch to emerge from hiding. But there would be no adequate way to prepare. even with all the foresight at our disposal. For a foe more powerful than the king, we will, and have already defeated. For a demon who is indestructible, omnipotent, and enraged. Oh my God. While the rest of the party would abscond, our duplicates would buy us time. They would all be killed again. All except for me. This is just as well, I suppose. What would we even do with all those copies anyway? We would return to the site of our hatching, so to speak, where we would hide amidst a veil depleted by the reckoning and wait, drifting in the wide orbit of our soon-to-be null session. Okay. Banished from the universe we left behind. Okay. But all those stars, damn, that's bright. Wait, was there a destruction just then? Yeah, so everything got swished in. Wow. This is somebody's sunglass here. And yet, in being denied the ultimate reward, we would be barred from entry. Okay. Okay. Is that Durst or Prospect over there? Okay, so it's all the astrological signs around the Earth. Okay. Into the universe we created. End of Act 1. End of Act 5, Act 1. And that was that. Incredible. That was amazing. I'm really happy. That was great. Okay, I'm going to save it here before I forget. Holy moly. What an amazing journey. Oh man. Yeah, that was yeah, that's what I mean. Like sometimes it's like frustrating reading Homestuck, but it's ultimately rewarding in the end with certain things. That was great. Yeah. I probably should have kept reading that yesterday, but then I could have started Act 2 of Act 5 today, but my throat was very sore yesterday. Yep, that was the reward. A Frey motif is something we haven't seen yet. Okay, so it's something, it's not like an actual word, it's a thing that exists in this story. Got it. All this time we've known about Spurb, but not the goal of the game. Now we know. Yes, we do. That was, yeah, there's a lot of yeah, that good stuff. All right, well, I will end it here for now, and I will continue reading Homestuck next week, beginning with Act 1 of Act 5. And yeah, take care of yourselves. I'll probably stream again later on to keep playing the Karlach. Run with the Karlach run with you know what I mean. What am I talking about? Yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna keep playing Baldur's Gate 3 when I'm awake and alert. So yeah, yeah. You take care of yourselves and bye for now.